All right. Says we're live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. We will get this started. Saturday stream, so probably won't be as busy. I know there's UFC going on, we have football, and everyone always forgets the races on Saturdays when it is on Saturdays. So appreciate anyone hanging out with me on your Sunday, or not Sunday, I'm sorry, Saturday evening. And this is a very intriguing slate, and one I've actually really struggled with, trying to figure out where I want to go. I have built my MME lineups for 20 max and 150, but my single entries and 3 maxes, I'm currently still... You hear me? Awesome. Yeah, it's a very weird slate because typically at these shorter tracks, I tend to rely on the practice data, things we see on typically a Saturday with this time of Friday. Yeah, under was a pretty good bet today. That's for sure. I was ready to go. But the practice data just seems kind of useless in my opinion. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I'm at Pennell 16. I posted the actual graphs of the lap times, and I feel like that kind of tells a better story because I think the lap times at face value are almost meaningless. I mean, if you're looking at the consecutive lap data, of course Group A had the advantage, but I mean it would look like Kyle Busch has the best car. I highly doubt he has the best car. Now we can sort this by groups, which we did this in the video, but just to rehash that because I think this is like the talking point. And I have no idea why I have an continuous error here. It's really bothering me. Anyway, we can sort this by group. And as you can see, Kyle Busch, Corey Heim, Noah Gragson, Ty Dillon. You have Brad Keselowski, who I really like today, at the bottom of this list. Ty Gibbs is down low, Josh Berry, but I like them. I am playing them today. Brad Keselowski is one of the favorites. He qualified well. He was really good at Iowa. I don't see why he wouldn't be good today. I would just be very shocked. He's really good at conserving his tires. Not sure how much I want to put into the practice setup. We have Group B. I mean, Denny Hamlin was the best in Group B. Actually, overall, even with Group A, he looked really good. That's why I'm very heavy on Hamlin tonight. I think he is the top Dominator play. I think he was plus 250 after practice and qualifying. Like, decent chance he wins tonight, right? So I do like him a lot. But Priest on the pole, he was the worst guy in practice. Just overall, based off of my rankings. Chase Elliott sucked. We know what happened with Logano, so it's not really even fair to look at him. But I mean, there's just so many guys that I think are going to be much better than the actual race compared to these practice times. It just seems, I don't know, it just seems useless to look at. So I'm not really banking on practice. I mean, if you want to look at the graphs, you can. I don't have those on standby that I can pull them up. But guys like Chase Elliott, his lap times once we got deep into the run were right on par with the other guys. Like, I really don't think it's anything to be too concerned about. Kyle Busch fell off quite a bit. I know these lap times look good just on paper, but he's fine. I still think Kyle Busch is fine for DFS purposes. I just feel like these times are really just, I don't know, clownery, I guess that's the word. But fun DFS slate. It's a difficult one, though. That's for sure. I don't really think there's one single route you can go. I know everyone's going to ask me about cash games on this slate. For me, I would probably say just take Denny Hamlin, Brian Priest as your DOMs and cash, and then you fill it out with the PD plays of, say, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain. I'm sure you can work something together with that. But for me, in tournaments, which is what I play, I don't play cash games these days. I just want guys that can just lead laps, get fast laps, and that's the way I'm going. If we expect long green flag runs tonight, these guys that start in the back could be in a little bit of trouble. I don't really think Kyle Larson's going to get lapped. I mean, he should be able to work his way. I don't think Joey Logano is in like the most danger for that. Guys like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., John Hunter Nemechek, Jesse Love, Cody Ware, of course. The real dangers are going lap down early on. Because if we get a nice long green flag run in stage 1, I mean, there's going to be some guys in trouble. I don't know if you guys watched the truck race yesterday. What was it, 70 laps for a stage? Majeski had everybody up to, I want to say 12th or 13th lap just in stage 1. Now, of course, trucks is a bit different. I mean, there's 3 guys that are on a whole other level. But yeah, we will see what happens. I personally really like the guys that are starting closer to the front today for GPPs. There's nothing wrong with Kyle Busch. There's nothing wrong with Ross Chastain. They're fine plays. But pivoting to a good amount of Tyler Reddick, pivoting to a lot of Brad Keselowski instead of, say, Joey Logano sometimes, or Chase Elliott over Joey Logano, Josh Berry, even starting inside the top 20. That should help him stay in the lead lap in the event of a long green flag run and guys get lapped. So that's the approach I'm taking in tournaments. I am underweight on Logano, underweight on Kyle Larson, just so I can make that happen. I really like Keselowski. I really like Chase Elliott. Ryan Blaney's another guy that I'm on, even though he's really struggled here at Richmond. He's great at short flat tracks. And from what we've seen this year, he has been like the tire wear king over the course of long runs, and that would be very beneficial tonight if he's able to do that. So we'll see. Because back in the day, he always really struggled at I'd say Homestead, well, maybe not Homestead, Darlington and Dover, and he is very much so improved at those two tracks for sure. So at some point, it's going to happen here at Richmond. But yes, very intriguing slate. Excited to break this down with you guys. Like I said, I built my MME lineups. I like where I'm at there, but I really got to try to figure out where I want my single entries and 3 maxes before I get out of here. Now, I did have a dono from CGen before I get on here, and it's not there anymore, but I think he asked me how many Dominators, and I do appreciate that. How many Dominators do we want in our lineups tonight? I would say at the very least 2. I would 100% be setting up a Dominator group tonight. For me, I'll sort this by qualifying order really quick. My Dom group would be Ryan Preece and Tyler Reddick. Press control here. Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Brett Keselowski, Christopher Bell. Don't really think I'd put Bowman in that group. You could put William Byron and Ryan Blaney in there, but I don't think I want to personally. I just think there's more so an outside chance they dominate, but I would want at least 2 of these drivers in all of my lineups. So sometimes that excludes the guys like Kyle Larson, Joey Logano because of their price points, but I think that's fine on this slate. There is a chance, if you just cannot pass at all, and one of these guys up front is just putting down some laps. They could be in trouble if they're stuck. We've seen it happen before. I remember there was a Martinsville race. Martinsville is obviously smaller, but there was like Chase Elliott, William Byron up front, but everyone played the chalk of Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr. in the back, and they got lapped. And I mean, you wanted the guys up front, even though they're extremely high owned in the back. I do appreciate that. And hopefully, I just hope it plays out like Trucks last. Trucks was awesome. You just play the Dominators, and the rest falls in. I slammed Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, and everything went well. So hopefully we can have a repeat. I have a lot of Denny Hamlin, a lot of Christopher Bell. Those are the 2 guys I believe will probably have the best cars tonight, best chance to dominate, and I want those guys that have those 100-point ceilings. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, good cash plays, of course. I think they're a very safe bet to get 50-ish points, but if they don't get a front, which is pretty unlikely to do starting 30th on back at a short flat track, they're just kind of capped as far as their ceiling is concerned. I mean, with fast laps, maybe you could get the 70. If you're just putting down fast laps in the long runs, that's possible. But I do think I think at least one of these drivers in the 10K range is going to put up 100+ points, and we might have 2, and that would knock them out. If we have a 1-dom race, that's when guys like Kyle Larson, Joey Logano can definitely come into play more. But if there's 2 main doms up there, like say Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, both dominate, both get 100-some points, that's going to push those guys out because you're just running out of money. All right, I feel like I've talked forever and have not read chat, so I will get on that. I could have swore I saw a message from Johnny T earlier. Maybe YouTube's deleting my chats. I know it was a FanDuel Cash question. If you were playing FanDuel Cash, FanDuel is tough. I think DraftKings is easier to build than FanDuel because on FanDuel, my projections point to playing the PD of Kyle Larson up top. But myself, my heart wants to play Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell instead, which in my MME, I did that. I went lower on Kyle Larson, out my Denny Hamlin and Christopher Bell, even though it didn't totally agree with me, but that's just my thought process for this race myself. And I can save a lot of money on Blaney with a little bit of PD there. Even Joe the guy was like, just easier for me to get to those over, say, Kyle Larson today. But cash games, just to fill the rest of your lineup out. Ryan Preece is free on FanDuel. I know the down points don't matter much, but he should still be a top 5, top 10 contender throughout the majority of the race. Kyle Busch is too cheap on FanDuel, and Ross Chastain's also fine cash play over there. So, Team Penske fan, who do you think finishes higher in order between Elliott, Briscoe, Buescher, Bubba, and Busch? I believe I have it as, I'm pretty sure it's that order, actually. Let's see, we have Elliott, Briscoe, Bubba, Buescher, and then I think you said Busch. So that order, I think besides one. What's up, Mom? Happy race day, NASCAR fan. Good luck, everyone, and go Joey. And Joey will be a very popular man today. This is a track that is very good to him for some reason. Good at short flat tracks, and he's a veteran, knows how to conserve his tires. Just, I don't know, whatever reason, Richmond has always been a good place for him. I remember back in the day, I want to say like 2017, 2018, Logano had to go to the back for a penalty, still won the race at Richmond. I don't expect him to win today by any means, but I mean, he's got the best floor in the slate. There's no doubt about that. What's up, Bob? Best value on a winner at the current odds. Thanks as always. I have not currently bet an outright winner. Well, post practice, I should say. Before practice and qualifying, I only made a couple of bets, very small sprinkles. Put 0.2 units on Briscoe at plus 1,500. You know, he qualifies well every week, and unfortunately, he did not do that this week. So don't love that bet. He's now at plus 20 to 1. At least when I scrape the numbers. Starts the 19th. Don't love it. I also have one I do like. I have Chase Elliott top Chevy at plus 500, and honestly, that's kind of my favorite bet. Well, of those two, of course, but I feel pretty good about that. I do think Chase Elliott has a good chance of doing that. I mean, his outright odds right now are 6 to 1. I get top Chevy at 5 to 1. I mean, kind of hard not to like that, right? Do we know for sure that Brad is racing tonight? As far as I have seen, he is good to go. I think someone told me his wife is due on Tuesday, but he does have the questionable odds, and I guess Corey LaJoy was the backup driver, but it sounds like we're going to be good to go. And in that case, I like Brad tonight. If we get something similar to Iowa, I think Brad should be good all night. What's up, bunch of X's? Top 4 guys for DraftKings 20 max. And are we focusing more on PD or Doms? And do we want guys starting up front or more guys in the back? Yeah, my most optimal drivers on DraftKings currently. Let me pull up my sheet here. I want to show everything on the screen. I know for sure my 2 most optimal are Ryan Preece and Denny Hamlin. All right, there we go, loaded. Yeah, Ryan Preece, Denny Hamlin. Looks like Joey Logano is next. Then Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. So lots of Doms. Doms are more important for me, especially on DraftKings. I mean, the Dominator points matter so much more compared to FanDuel. Like, on the flip side, like I said, Ryan Preece and Hamlin, the most optimal on DraftKings for me. On FanDuel, it's Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, because they have like the hybridness to them. But yeah, Dominators are the name of the game today. They can score 100 plus points, and you want to chase that. Like, I currently have a ceiling projection for Denny Hamlin at 104.5, but he could obviously eclipse that. The amount of laps that we have tonight, if we get, say, a 1-dom race and he just runs away with it. But you always need a good mixture. But if you're under the impression that this race is going to go green, a lot of guys are going to get lapped, and when there's cautions, you kind of don't want the guys that are trapped to lap down. Sometimes there's a couple of cautions and guys wave around and everything gets fixed. It seems to happen quite often. But if this stays green, and you just kind of want the guys that are stuck inside the top 15 because they're not getting lapped. What's up, RW? Cash score for DraftKings Cash. Yeah, if I'm playing DraftKings Cash, for me, I'm starting with Denny Hamlin as the big dog. I like Ryan Preece as the cheap Dominator. Of course, there is downside to him starting him first, but at the same time, I play Preece every week, and he's always a top 10 contender. And he's got clean air. Of course, he has to battle off Tyler Reddick, and of course, Denny Hamlin's going to be a threat at some point. But if we can run away and lead 30-ish laps at the beginning, hang around the top 10, that's a great day at his price point. And of course, if he just has a dominant car, which I don't think he's going to have a dominant car, he will get passed at some point, especially if we run into lap traffic, and then that's usually when the lead change will happen. But if he can lead a decent chunk of stage one, we're kind of set on him unless he makes a stupid mistake at some point. And then, of course, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch are also fine cash plays. Now, the under was a good play today. The under was good. How many Dominators do we need in one lineup? I would say at the very least 2, but you can stretch it to 3. You could even stretch that to 4, maybe, depending on how you want to view guys as Dominators. I'm not sure if I'd put Bubba in the Dom group, but he's the guy that can scrape fast laps starting inside the top 8. So Ryan Preece, Bubba Wallace, and then you could throw in Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. That would easily fit in a lineup, and you could just give yourself access to basically unlimited Dominator points there. But because even if one of your drivers does make a mistake, if you just nail the Dominator points, you can go away with it a little bit more in your build. Because we're hunting that ceiling. The guys that can dominate have the ceiling. Kyle Larson has the floor. Yes, Joey Logano has the floor. And I'm not saying you can't mix and match those guys in with your Doms, but I think they do lack that ceiling unless this turns into an absolute wreck fest and there's weird strategy and Larson gets up front, then it's game over. for that strategy, but it's less likely to happen. Stuck between Hocevar and Austin Dillon. Personally, for me, I would go Austin Dillon. I'm not sure if my projections completely agree with that, but so they're actually within like half a point, and the extra PD for Carson Hocevar is giving him just the slight edge there. But based off of track history, I feel decent about Austin Dillon. I manually bumped him up myself when I was building to get some of him in MME. But man, I just hate him so much from last year. But this is oddly a very good track for him. I have no idea why, but Austin Dillon's one of those drivers where if you look at the high tire wear tracks, his numbers aren't too bad. But 6 races here in the next gen, he's been in the top 10 and 50% of those. And he had the best car last year in the fall. Now, of course, we all remember the terrorism on Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin. I'm sure it affected us greatly. I was heavy on both, and I've talked about it many times, so I won't go over it again. But before that happened, there was a caution with like 2 to go, or 3 to go, whatever it was. Completely screwed over Austin Dillon because he had the great story going on. He had the best car. He was dominating. He was clearly going to win the race. Unfortunately, I don't know who wrecked. I forget, but it turned him into being a villain in my most hated drivers. So very unfortunate what transpired after that. And I was looking at his graph for his long run speed, and I mean, he was honestly didn't look too bad for his group. Happy race day, Joel. Stuck between Hocevar and... Oh, I guess I already read that, huh? At least 2 Doms could have 3. I completely agree with that, Joshua. I mean, just get as many guys in your lineup that can get fast laps. That's the name of the game today. I mean, the guy up front's not always going to get all the fast laps. Usually it's anyone inside the top 10. Of course, if maybe Ryan Blaney's in 13th and he's just ripping laps deep into the run, that's possible. But yeah, Hocevar does wreck every race. He is... He's impossible to trust. He's like the fancy version of Noah Gragson. What's up, King Entrepreneur? Happy race day to you. What's up, Astro? What's up, Ernest? What's up, Shane? Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being here. Pivots off of Hamlin and Bell and Larson. Oh, I really like Hamlin and Bell. Those are the guys that I'm building around. But if you are not playing them, I would definitely be pretty heavy on Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski because we need Dom points. So I'd be very heavy on them up top. And also I like Ryan Blaney. So besides Hamlin and Bell, I really like Elliott, Keselowski, and Blaney for tournaments. What's up, C. Mitch? Who's your core place for cash tonight? I guess I probably already answered that. But if you're just now getting here, Hamlin, Logano, Kyle Busch, Chastain, very good building blocks for cash games. What's up, Viduni? Happy race day to you. How you feeling about top 5 Brad Keselowski at plus 125? I don't know. Let's see. Plus 125. I got it at 155. So I'm a little bit off on that. But I could see it happening. I think he's going to have a good car tonight. Austin Dillon really fast in corner entry, I heard. Yeah. Tell me about it. That was horrible watching live. Very, very horrible. Watch this be the race that Paige has the baby while Brad is... I think Brad's just not going to answer the call if that's the case. Hopefully, because I'll have a lot of Brad. Is this Sunday? No. It's going to be nice. We have Sunday off. Do whatever we want. Going to the beach. It's going to be great. And I was looking ahead of the schedule. I think of the next 5 races, we have 3 of them on Saturday night, and one of them's on Sunday night. So that'll be fun. 1 Dominator, and nobody is playing. And nobody is playing. As far as like a Dominator, if that's what you mean. I mean, Tyler Reddick's someone that's showing a lot of positive leverage for me because everyone's going Hamlin, everyone's going Bell, everyone's going Ryan Preece. I'd be forgetting about the guy in second, and yeah, he could always beat Tyler Reddick out, or sorry, Ryan Preece out at the jump and be the lap leader. And I don't think his ownership's going to be anything crazy. So Reddick is also a pretty viable tournament dom. Happy race to you as well, Astro. Nice to see you. What's up, Alex? As a primary cash player, really struggling with the amount of options tonight. Is this a high passing track? Who are the must-haves in both DK and FanDuel Cash? Thanks and best of luck. Well, short flat tracks in the next gen era in the Cup Series are basically just a train. Now, the good thing about Richmond is that there is tire wear here, so we're going to have guys that fall off deep into the runs, and that's when passing will happen. So that's the one benefit to it. I mean, some of these tracks, there's just nothing happens. I mean, so Richmond, we should have at least some passing that way, but it's probably going to be a bit of a brutal watch tonight, if we're being honest. But in cash, I would still stick to the primary PD plays, but you still need Dom. So Ryan Priest, Denny Hamlin, really good options there. Priest, very cheap Dominator, which kind of really opens up the lineups tonight. What's up, Pope? I'm 70% Bush, 38% Gilly, and 30% on both Dillon brothers. Whew, 70% Bush. I mean, of the PD plays, he does pop more optimal for me than Logano and Kyle Larson because of the price point. I think it's actually very close to him and Logano, but even more than Kyle Larson, so I get it. $8,500 starting in 28th. I like him on FanDuel as well. And for whatever reason, he's been pretty solid at Richmond. Average finish 11.2, running position of inside the top 15. 3 top 10s, been in the top 20 every time. 5 top 15s. I didn't even factor practice into my projections, and he still pops well. And I mean, he was first across the board in practice, which is probably fake, but yeah, I can get with Kyle. What's up, Josh? Would you say this is a fair shot at DK Cash or single entry Hamlin, Logano, Chastain, Priest, Gibbs, and John Nemechek? Yeah, I think that's fine. You can get away with that. You have Hamlin and Priest as your main doms, Logano and Chastain. I do think Kyle Busch is going to be pretty chalky. I don't know if you can like sneak him in somewhere, but I'm not sure if it's like a huge deal. What's up, Darren? Bell, McDowell, or Chastain and Busch for a DraftKings GPP? Well, I mean, I don't like McDowell. I don't know if you could like pivot off of him with somebody else. Like if you said Nemechek and Bell, I'm just not a big fan of him starting in 10th, which I know I sound like guys that can potentially stay in the lead lap, but I do think he fades back. But Bell has the most upside. Like, even if McDowell kind of sucks, Bell has the potential to get those 100+ points that can outscore Busch and Chastain potentially by himself, depending on how they do. So I'm going to have to go the Bell route for a tournament, but McDowell is not my favorite choice. You know, if Brad leaves the race once he starts, he will steal the DFS points. Oh, I forget what the exact rule is on that. I'm pretty sure if you start the race, you still get the points, but I don't really think we have to worry about it. But don't 100% quote me on that. I had it ready when we had the other baby watch with Denny Hamlin, but I really think we're fine with Brad. Yeah, if you're looking at Brad, he is on baby watch, but I could try to double check that. They could have been lying to me. Someone said she was due on Tuesday, which I realized that isn't a concrete that's 100% going to happen. But let me pop his name up in Twitter and see if anything comes up. Is due almost any day with their 4th child. Yeah, I mean, I think we're good. Well, I mean, it could happen, of course, but I think we're all right. It's not something I'm going to play a lot of Brad tonight, so I'm just rolling with it. No, races today, which a lot of people always forget when the races are on Saturday night, and they'll end up coming in on Sunday, and I'll get a comment saying, I thought the race was yesterday. And I said this in my breakdown video, but I am dead serious. If anyone has any experience building websites, website design, running applications like Streamlit and all that, like if you have experience in a portfolio, you could show me things you worked on. I would love to work with you. I'm trying to get something to happen. I've done a lot of the work myself, but I definitely need to polish up from someone that does have experience with that. So if you do and you're qualified, hit me up on Twitter, email, whatever it may be, and I would love to potentially work with you and get something to happen. All right. I just had to say that because I would like to potentially make this happen. What's up, Jeff? No problem at all. Can't wait till NFL. Me too. Cannot wait. Been very excited. We're doing a lot of work on NFL in the offseason, especially the past couple of months, getting that ready. So very, very excited for that. But anyway, FanDuel, small field, single entry, Hamlin Bell, or heavy on place differential. Yeah, I love the Hamlin Bell start. I mean, those are the two most likely drivers to win, two most likely guys to dominate. I mean, Denny Hamlin's the man at Richmond. Christopher Bell's the man at short flat tracks. He's also had some good runs at Richmond, but had some issues that kind of killed his day overall. But love both, absolutely. Now, you have to pay a premium for them, but I am more than fine doing that. Because if you score 100 points, it doesn't matter what your price point is. What's up, Silva? Oh, ChatGPT can absolutely do that, and I use that. I use that every day to help me out. It is insane what it can do and help you out with, but I definitely need more a human help on some things. That's for sure. Sorry, my chat scrolled all the way down, so that's the first message I saw. What's up, Bull? Nice to see you. Happy Saturday, grade A. 12 lineups left in the horrible 2K to first 20. Yeah, it really, really is bad, but I played anyway because it's $60. Who cares, right? Top 3 drivers under 6,800, Austin Dillon on FanDuel. Yeah, for me, Ryan Preece, Austin Dillon. Let me sort this by salary really quick. Yeah, Ryan Preece, Austin Dillon. I do have a decent amount of Ty Gibbs just because he's cheap over there, but I really don't like anybody else on FanDuel outside of them. AJ Allmendinger popped into a couple of my lineups just because he's 4,200 and he starts in third. Outside chance. So, like, he's got a small chance to finish in the top 10, right? So he popped into a couple of FanDuel lineups, but yeah, Ryan Preece and Austin Dillon made up the chunk of that. What's up, CJ? Good to see you. I figured I would at some point. What's up, Andrew? And he left for Cole Custer as a punt today. He actually popped somewhat decent. Let me pull up my numbers again. Well, the thing is, all the punts for me project so bad today that 12 points from Cole Custer actually looks pretty good, just comparing to the rest of the guys to give you the state of how bad the punt plays are today. Like, I had Todd Gillen projected for 19.3, and he is by far my best 5K play, and he's showing optimal roughly around 30% of the time because of that. So it's real bad, and it sounds horrible. Cody Ware projected for 11 points for me, which is reasonable. That's pretty reasonable. It's a 34th place finish. I mean, I don't think that's impossible today. He has a decent floor to work with. I have him projected for 11 points. He pops optimal quite a bit for me, almost 20% of the time, and that's just because it's jamming in the Dominators. I'm not really advocating to play Cody Ware. I think he's going to be horrible, but I have to imagine there's a couple of drivers in this race that have issues, probably DNF, and if he can pick up 2-3 spots, if you nail your DOMs, it allows you to fit in those DOMs. So I don't hate it. It's nasty, but like, I played Tony in the trucks last night, and she's horrible, and it ended up working out because I could fit in Heim, I could fit in Majeski. So it's fun to do that on sites like this. If this is an intermediate track with 200 laps, I think that's usually a waste of a play. But when you have a lot of Dominator points available, that's when I think guys like Cody Ware can become more viable. So Timothy, flag plans today. Mine are Priest, Nemechek, and Barry. Thoughts? I like that. Yeah, I have Josh Berry as one of the better tournament plays on this slate, but I am absolutely slamming Hamlin and Bell. I'm overweight on Keselowski, overweight on Chase Elliott. And then down low, I took the over approach on Ryan Preece, Bubba Wallace, and Josh Berry. And I'm a bit underweight on Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Kyle Larson, and a little bit on Joey Logano. So I know I said a lot of the chalkier plays, but at the same time, I'm lower on the PD plays. So it balances out. Any Heim love? I would if he was a little bit cheaper. I know he was fast in his practice group. Like I said, though, practice is... I don't know what to make of practice. I'd be lying if I said that if it's going to be a good indicator or not. I really don't think it's going to be. But at nearly $7,000, he could probably move to around 25th, if not better. It's just we don't have a huge sample size on him. I mean, his equipment's decent, but wish he was a little bit cheaper. So he doesn't really pop too well at that price point for me. I mean, for $300 more, I can get Ty Gibbs. I feel more comfortable with that. What's up, Spreader? What's up, David? I got Hamlin, Bell, and Priest in my single entry. No problem with that. I love all three of them. Priest could lead 30 laps, 40 laps, finish in the top 10. That's more than enough at his price point. Hamlin could lead 100. Bell could lead 100. They could all finish around the top 5. I mean, that's 100% possible. What value plays for DraftKings tournaments? 7K and under. It is bad, but the best for me, 7K and under. Ty Gibbs, if you're counting 7K flats. Todd Gillen shows up a little bit. John Hunter Nemechek, Corey Heim. We just talked about him. I just think he's a little expensive, but Ricky Stenhouse, if you're just looking for the pure PD play, but I would say he's in pretty grave danger to get lapped early on. Zane Smith. But I wouldn't necessarily say there's any good pump plays. Estro says Larson makes me worry recently. Bust upside down when I play him. Yeah, last week sucked. That was horrible. Just in general, everything sucked. I mean, SVG is the obvious. Like, of course, he won. He led a lot of laps. But man, Larson doesn't have brakes to start. What are we doing? Why does he not have brakes to start the race? Chase Elliott ruins his race, taking the points at one point, and then he just was terrible in traffic. And something else happened, but man, I mean, it was brutal. I got SVG, Bell, and Byron right, and Busher, but everything else, it didn't matter. Everything else sucked. Any prize pick plays I like? I have not looked at prize picks. What's up, Nathan? Anyone ask about SVG? Not yet. Thankfully. But 5,700 starts in 27th. All the pump plays are pretty much projected within 11 to 16 points for me. I mean, it's a minuscule difference. I have SVG pretty low. Third lowest projection. He hasn't really shown me too much at all for us to really trust him. What's up, Coach? I'm completely ignoring the first part of that message. I will not read any pro Tigers propaganda. DK Cash, Halen Bell, Priest, Heim, Barry, and Gregson. I would say that's very GPP-ish, see Mitch. Very, very, very GPP-ish. I would play that in a single entry, not in cash games. That'll be a very low end lineup in cash. What's up, Ryan? FanDuel single, Denny Bell, Chastain, Priest, and Heim. Yeah, doesn't seem like it should fit, but it does, so I don't hate it. Haven't really gotten myself to Heim on FanDuel, but fitting in Denny Bell, I don't mind that. Elliott or Bell for a single entry, I'll go with Christopher Bell, assuming money is not the issue. What's up, Dave Palma? Go Indians. We don't call them the Guardians and never will. Now, contrary to other people, I don't hate the name Guardians, but I definitely prefer the Indians. I do like the little guards ball Twitter tag, but I'm firmly on the Indians train. What's up, Fiduni? I already saw you. But anyway, also another one in Austin Dillon top 10 at plus 360. I don't think that's going to show value for me. Austin Cindric. Can I find him? Yeah, I'm not. I'm at 538 on that one. 538. Butcher or Kozlowski? I would go with Keselowski there. I think he's got the better upside of dominating. Who are those chalk must play DraftKings players? Well, for me, I like Denny Hamlin and Ryan Priest. Now, Kyle Larson's really gone up. Of course, he's going to be chalky, but I think it's kind of easier to get away from them, similar to Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain. But yeah, I want to be on the Hamlin train. I want to be on the Ryan Priest train. I want the guys that can give me the dominant points. So, what's up, Scott? Is Hamlin, Bell, and Keselowski a good GBP core? Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, get the guys that can dominate. 100%. That's what wins you tournaments on states like this. Don't chase the floors, chase the ceilings. Which, I mean, their floors are pretty high projected wise because I have them getting dominator points, of course, but I have about 50, Sean, on FanDuel just because it's, of course, dominator points on FanDuel don't matter as much. So I had to up my Logano and Larson a little bit there, but I am I'm more overweight Hamlin and Bell and FanDuel, despite my projections not completely agreeing with that. But on DraftKings, I'd like to be right around 60-ish%, if not more, really taking a stand there. Is Brad K on baby watch still? As far as I know, yes. Could happen at any time, although I don't know the situation completely. Today seems like a day to hammer the unders on the place differential drivers on Prize Picks. If it goes green, that is possible. There's always the chance, though, we get late cautions, all these guys come back, so I'm not going to say that's a guarantee. But if we get long green flag runs and there's zero passing, some guys could be in trouble early on. Josh Berry top forward at 1,400. Let me see. I have Berry top forward. Yeah, I have that at plus 990. So that ain't bad at all. And then I have Joey at 12. I got Berry at 990. So yeah, I don't mind the Berry bet. Ain't too bad. FanDuel Cash, you really need a Dominator tonight. I don't think you necessarily need to jinx in for FanDuel Cash, but I'm telling you right now, FanDuel building tonight is impossible for single entries. I cannot figure it out. I'm trying my best. I still have to build those. MME was fine because I'm obviously just making sure my roster construction set up in the settings. Then I look at my exposures, of course. But man, these hand builds are rough. They're really, really rough. What's your thoughts on Buescher? Would you fade Larson and Kyle Busch? Buescher I haven't really got too much just because of his price point being $9,000. I think Reddick's got a better chance of dominating. I think Keselowski has a better chance of dominating. I don't think it's to do with Logano at that point. $9,700, just a little bit more. But I don't mind. I'm showing negative leverage on Kyle Busch on DraftKings and Kyle Larson, so I can get with that just to try to get these guys that can dominate better. Hurricane Hocevar, yeah, I forget who called him that, but I saw that was a new nickname. Do I like Ty Dillon starting 16? I cannot get Ty Dillon right to save my life. I don't think I have once this year. When I've liked him, he doesn't do anything. When I have absolutely no interest in him, he does things. So I currently have him. I mean, I got him pretty low. I got him projected for like 7 points into the 26th place finish, which I think that's pretty reasonable for Ty Dillon. If he could miraculously stay in the lead lap, the upside's there, but me myself, I don't have Ty Dillon. Clint says was first in the other race Pennell contest again last week until the Brad K flat tire. That's brutal. He had a pretty good run going too. That was very unfortunate. It's like the only thing that happened in that race too. That sucks. I'm sorry, Clint. Thoughts on Heim in best place, 700 or less? I'm not anti-Heim per se. It's just I think he's a little bit overpriced, but he's basically projected better than all these drivers below him besides, I believe, Todd Gillen maybe? That might not be right. I think he is projected better than Ty Dillon. No, I'm sorry, Todd Gillen. But yeah, better than Suarez, better than Nemechek, better than, yes, basically everyone. DK Cash, Bell, McDowell, or BK Austin Dillon. I'll tell you right now, Darren, that's a very tournament-y option on both. I really don't think any of those guys are cash plays per se. I would say Bell is probably the cashiest, but I think they're all kind of GPP plays, to be honest. Coach says, show us the gun show Cruz was talking about. No, the gun show's on the OnlyFans. But I did see that. That was very Cruz. If you're watching that, I laughed and I recorded it for myself. It's very funny. I like 23 card today too. Yeah, Bubba. I mean, Bubba's just too cheap every week. I honestly think him and Tyler Reddick should be like the same price tag at this point. We're getting Bubba at a discount at $7,500. I think he stays in the top 10 most of the day. I think he scrapes away fast laps here and there. And if he finishes in the top 10, it's just a solid tournament play. I would say if Priest wasn't on the poll, Bubba would probably be a lot more popular tonight. What's up, Haber? What's up, Kiefer? What's up, Tyler? How do I feel about Barry? I like Barry. Solid track type for him. He's actually, green flag speed wise, his numbers at these high tire wear tracks tend to be pretty good. I think on long runs, he'll be pretty solid. I think he'll be like a top 12 contender today. I think it's kind of a safe range to put him. I believe he finished 12th or 13th at Iowa. Yeah, I want to say at Iowa, he was a lap down at some point, gets his lap back, and ended up being a decent day. Or I might be. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Ryan Preece, not Josh Berry. Yeah, Ryan Priest, I believe, is going to lap down, gets his lap back, finishes fourth, whatever it was. Appreciated his efforts, so I needed that from him. Do I think Joey can stay in the lead lap? I think he can, but I am a little concerned about that. It's one of the reasons I'm underweight in tournaments. It's just, if he doesn't like his car and he's stuck in 28th, he will get lapped. I've seen it happen before to Joey. So that's my only concern. Like cash games, play him. I mean, pretty safe bet to gain nearly 20 spots, but I think in tournaments, there's definitely merit at nearly $10,000 for a guy that I don't think dominates today. Very safe bet for, I would say, 50 plus points, but the ceiling is highly capped on Joey. Thoughts on Bubba? I like Bubba in tournaments. I went over that. Coach, I ain't got my check yet, but I'm going to pump it up anyway. Our guy smashes football just as well as NASCAR. If you ain't a member yet, appreciate that, Coach. Yeah, NFL's been really good. Very, very good. Now, FanDuel did change the way they do their showdown contests, which showdown... I mean, it's not easy. I'm not saying it, but they've been, I don't want to say free money, but they've been very, very good to me over the past couple of years. They have now taken the DraftKings approach of showdown, so I'm a little scared. You know, got to do something new, but I think we'll be all right. But very excited for NFL, and it's been very good to me. Hopefully we can continue that this season. Very excited for it. Hello, Miss Beautiful Jules. Like having a Saturday night race this weekend. Good luck to everyone, and go Blaney. Yeah, absolutely. We got Sunday free. It's going to be great. I like the Saturday too. What's up, Scott? You're late. Why is Brad questionable? He's on baby watch. I need to just hang a banner in here. It says Brad Keselowski is on baby watch. I would go with Gilland over Stenhouse, personally, Brett. Any interest in Zane Smith? I am fine. I'm fine with it. I mean, all the pump plays suck today. There's not one good pump play. If Zane's the guy you land on in 29th, 5,900 left, by all means, go for it. I have Todd Gillen, Stenhouse, and I believe Zane as the top pump plays, but it's not pretty. I even think just because of how bad the pump plays are, Cody Ware is viable, starting nearly dead last. You pray for a couple of guys to the DNF, and you just hope it's not him. He finishes 34th, you nail your DOMs, and then you move on the next week. Dave Palma says, when my wife is due, me, don't leave us hanging with some second-rate stat guy before the big race. Well, it's in December, so we're safe, Dave Palma. It'll be in December, so. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully we won't need a second-rate NFL guy. What's up, Hunter? Do you like Hocevar or Barry better? I like Barry better. Trust him a little bit better. My Herbst projection's pretty low, Parker. I was thinking it might be a bit better on my preview video, but it honestly was kind of down pretty low. I gave him I believe it was 31st place projected finish, and starting in 26th, it doesn't look too appealing. Oh, I just saw your dono, G-Money. Appreciate that. Says, thoughts on Ty Dillon starting 16th last. Oh, I guess I already answered that. Where am I at? Oh, what's up, Snips? You single-handedly got me into NASCAR? Awesome. Got to get more of you into that. Needed some plays for prize picks, so I looked up some YouTube picks and man fell in love with the sport. Oh, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. It's fun. Once you get into it, ins and outs of NASCAR, it's a really fun DFS sport too. I mean, you're never dead. You're also never safe, which that's the downside. I mean, you can be winning all the money and you can die, but you're also never dead, which is fun too. I definitely think it's, well, I mean, obviously it's my favorite DFS sport. I like NASCAR, I like NFL, and I like MLB. I pretty much hate everything else. Most likely chalk DNF. I mean, I think probably Kyle Busch because it's Kyle Busch these days, but there's no likely DNF. I mean, that could be anybody. But I'd say the favorites to DNF every single week are Noah Gragson, number one. I mean, if you could bet on Noah Gragson direct every week, I would probably hit that. I forget what the exact rate. This was several weeks ago, but I think I read that Noah Gragson had like a 69% rec rate at some point. Like, that is just pitiful. You got to get Lane Riggs in that ride. But yeah, I would say Gragson, Kyle Busch, and Carson Hocevar are the three stooges to wreck every single week. Can Stenhouse put up points? I'm probably not based off of speed. He's going to have to get a little lucky. I mean, it's Stenhouse. Stenhouse is a very weird driver. There's weeks where he just randomly runs in the top 15. That's not going to be this week. But on some weeks, he's like the worst car on the track. He's very difficult to figure out at times. But for where he's starting, 36, I mean, he's a fine punt. He's one of the more optimal ones. Thoughts on Austin Dillon? I hate him in general, but I do think tonight, starting at 11th, at Richmond, which is one of his better tracks, he's honestly not too bad at conserving his tires. I think he's worth some plays in tournaments. Any hope for Jones staying the lead lap? He could. Just as far as DFS projections are concerned, he didn't really look too great for me. Bubba top 10, Ryan Blaney at least 8th place. I have Bubba Wallace finishing the top 10 44.6% of the time. I have Ryan Blaney finishing technically 11.21, but let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got him right at 8. So right there on the money. Gibbs or Bubba? I have Wallace just a tad high. Well, actually, yeah, I have Wallace a point higher. Exactly. And that's just with him getting more fast lap love. The all-important question, rank these fruits. Mangoes, pineapple, strawberries, and pears. I mean, mango is the best fruit. And then I'd probably say strawberry, pineapple, and pears. Pears suck. I wouldn't even put them on the list. What's up, AJ Brown? No blicky means it's Heim time, baby. It was Heim time yesterday. I'm not sure if it's Heim time tonight. Can you play Cody Ware and DK Cat? You can. It's not going to feel good. I'll tell you that. But if it gets you your DOMs, sure. I don't love it, but I think Cody Ware is a decent bet to score almost 10 points tonight. As long as Cody Ware is not the first wreck, he should be able to collect a couple of spots based off of that, but he's going to be very slow. 6,800 left, if not Gregson, who on DraftKings Astro? I believe we go with Corey Haim there. Yeah. Right, you said if not Gregson. Yeah, I'm going to go with Corey Haim. Is Riley my favorite punt? He is not. I thought he might be in the preview video yesterday, but he did not look great. Stenhouse, Todd Gillen, they didn't look too bad. Allmendinger starting from the rear. They just tweet that. Last I saw it was let me check Bob. I saw Logano and Gillen were. Bob says Gillen to the rear and Logano to the rear. That's all I'm saying, unless I'm stupid and missing something. But I don't see him going to the rear anywhere. And that was 33 minutes ago, so I'm not 100% sure. I can check my guy Dustin. I don't see anything. Yeah, 47 minutes ago. Only cars to the rear tonight, Joey Logano and Todd Gillen is what I'm seeing. What's the core tonight, Coach? For me, Prius, Hamlin, Bell, very heavy on them. Ware, Hamlin, or Dillon and Bush? See, that's the reason I'd say Cody Ware, because sure, Dillon and Bush look better as a pair, but if Hamlin scores 100 some points tonight, who cares what Cody Ware does? Because I really don't think Bush and Dillon are going to combine for over whatever happens with Hamlin. Because if we're playing Hamlin, we're assuming the ceiling, and we're getting 100 plus points, of course, in that scenario. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. I'm just saying if we are playing Hamlin, we're assuming that's what happens. You like Golf DFS? I can't say I've ever played. Well, I played a couple times Golf DFS in college, which was, I don't know, 2018, 2019. I remember it starts at 6 a.m. and I'm sitting in a statistics class at 7 a.m. I was checking my golf lineup. It's like the only time. Do I have any love for Jesse Love? I'm not, like I said, all these punt plays are just trash down here. He starts in 30. I'd rather play Ricky Stenhouse personally, but we're just splitting hairs. It's fine. I think Jesse Love has a little bit more upside than Cody Ware if you have the money. I know we've talked about Cody Ware a bit, but I mean, I would say Jesse Love has better finishing position potential. Who's my dark horse and who is the favorite? I mean, Hamlin's the favorite. I don't know if there's really a dark horse. I mean, all these guys are pretty maybe favorites, I guess. I mean, Reddick's almost 1,500. Well, he's 1,500. I don't know if you want to call him a dark horse. Bubba Wallace, maybe. Josh Berry. But I don't know, dark horses don't usually win at these types of tracks. I know we saw Austin Dillon last year, so it can happen, but it's just unlikely. Do I need PD plays or can you focus on top 20 plays? I mean, the majority of my lineups do have top 20, but you can mix in a couple of PD guys. I don't think your entire lineup has to be top 20. Because keep in mind, the guys that go a lap down, they're not the only one a lap down. They're going to be racing with half the field that's also a lap down. So you could be 15th and a lap down, and you could still have, like, say you start at 30th, you could still pick up quite a bit of spots. I do not, Steven, typically, unless there's something that really stands out to me, which I didn't see anything. The best head-to-head I have seen all year was like Kyle Busch and Bubba Wallace at Iowa, and Bubba was at a very good price point. No, I don't think Dillon wins again. I hope he doesn't. Chastain or Busch, I would go with Kyle Busch, personally. Bell, Halen, Priest, Barry, Core, GPP, Vibe, absolutely. Love that, Carl. So my favorite tournament plays overall. Let's go Chicago Bears. No Chicago Bears, Astro. Ross Ware or Bubba Gilly or Gibbs Nemechek to pair with Denny, Blaney, Berry, and Priest. Okay, let me think about this. So we have Denny, Blaney, Berry, Priest. We have two Doms. Blaney could be like a hybrid Dom. Berry's more of a fast lap guy. Oh, man. I want to say Bubba Gilly. It's where I'm kind of leaning. Jack says, just got here. What is it, Corey Heim? Corey Heim is a Friday legend. That's really about it. But yeah, he's great on Fridays. What's up, Johnny? All my drivers starting top 19. Should I get at least one PD driver? It would kind of depend on who it is, I guess. I mean, most of mine would have like someone starting outside the top 19. Because like I said, I mean, guys are going to get lapped, of course, but they'll be racing against other guys that are lap down. So if they're cheap, who cares? Now, Joe Logano, I don't want him to be a lap down if I'm paying a premium for him, as an example. Bet365 has Barry at 40 to 1. Does that show value? Well, I'm not quite there, but that number is off from the one I pulled, but not quite there. Joey's at 20. I really don't think Joey's going to win. I mean, I got him fair at plus 66. I think it's a kind of a terrible number. Stack JGR. I mean, Toyota typically is really good here. Really, really good. Bears sucking. I'm here for Chicago Bears slander. What's up, Yancey? FanDuel single tree, and it's gone. That was the South Park gif right there in live. I just deleted it as I was reading it. I kind of skipped around a little bit. It's 7. Slate locks at 7:30. I do have to do a couple of builds myself, but I think I'm pretty much caught up. If you guys have any last second dire questions, you can answer me. But we've been live for about an hour. But yeah, someone said dingers to the rear, but I have not seen that anywhere unless I'm stupid, but I don't see it. Looks like Gilliland and Joey Logano, and they're already in the back, so it doesn't change a thing. Bowman's car was pushed back to the garage with a few officials around it. Mostly every car is on the grid now. I guess he's fine at this point, but that was about an hour ago. Did we talk about Bowman, says Clint? Actually, no, I did not get one Bowman question, which is weird. Bowman seems like the worst version of a Wallace tonight. He's a little bit more expensive. I'm okay with Bowman. I tend to play him every week. For some reason, the projections don't love him tonight. I don't think he's just getting as much fast lap love as Will Wallace, which is kind of filtering him out. Same with Ryan Preece at $7,600, and then Josh Berry. And then Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain. So honestly, he's kind of like sandwiched in between a really good range. So if you're looking for lever ownership, yeah, he's solid. He should be somewhat of a top 10 contender, but I do think he's kind of likely to fade back a little bit. Debating Logano versus Briscoe in a lot of my hand builds. Ooh, yeah, that is tough. I honestly, I think I'd still like Joey Logano there. I know we kind of talked about him, but Chase Briscoe, projection-wise, I mean, Joey does have it decently. I got him by 9 points. I don't think Briscoe is too much of a threat to dominate tonight. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the 19 card is always really good here, but just played Cindric to win a plus 10,000. Well, I don't know. The lineup you have is Keselowski, Berry, Preece, Bell, and Elliott. I like it a lot, Yancey. Kind of want to steal it, to be honest. I might steal it. Looks pretty good. Another one you have is Bell, Hamlin, Preece, Berry, and Busch. Yeah, this is pretty good. I got to do my FanDuel single entries as soon as I sign off here, which is going to be like in 12 seconds. But they're definitely looking pretty good, so I don't mind those at all. But I appreciate y'all being here. Sorry to kind of scurry out, but I got to build my own lineups. But I appreciate y'all being here. Next week we have Daytona cutoff race. That is going to be awesome. If it's anything like last year, we're in for a treat. But I wish y'all the best and see ya.